to another episode of Nigerian Infusions. Today it's all about puff puff. I'm preparing puff puff for a client and I'm using yeast. I've got self-raising flour in here, 2.5 kilograms of self-raising flour. I want to use self-raising flour and at the same time I want to use yeast. I've got a recipe for plantain puff puff if you guys want to check it out. I like to use yeast because it adds a bit of airiness and bounciness to the cake. It makes it very fluffy. That's the reason I always use yeast with my self-raising flour. I've got 500 grams of sugar here and also 1.2 ml of water. That's what I'll be needing to make this puff puff. I like to add a little bit of salt, just a pinch of salt, just to help the whole process. So we're gonna get started. Do at this point is pour the sugar into the flour, leaving just a little bit in there. Then I take the yeast, open up the yeast. You can use any brand of yeast you want, but I found out that they all do the same thing. You get what I mean? So I don't really stress myself saying, oh, maybe this yeast is better or not. So I'll empty all the yeast into the cup. Once the yeast is emptied into the cup, I'm going to take some of the hot water, add it into the cup. The water that you're using must be 51 or 50 degrees centigrade max, okay? Don't use any water hotter than that because it will kill the yeast. So just mix that in. Once that is mixed in, we then leave it in a corner to set aside, and it's not one corner song, so don't do that song. Just put it in one corner, in a warm corner, okay? You can see 2-3 minutes later the yeast has risen. This was really quick because my water was the very right temperature despite being cold outside. Check out the puff puff, plantain puff puff as well. So what I'm gonna do now is pour this into the flour. Add just a pinch of salt and then start incorporating the water little at a time. I'll just keep mixing this up. I've used all the water in there, so I'm just continually mixing. Please don't be tempted to add more water, because what happens is that when you mix properly and you leave it, the yeast is gonna work wonders and magic and make it fluffy. So please do not add any more water than you've been instructed to add, okay? Please, unless you want your puff puff to soak up oil, then feel free to add more water, because once the yeast activates, the yeast sort of help the whole process, okay? Just continue mixing until everything is well incorporated. I've completely mixed the whole puff puff now. What I'm gonna do is just clean, fill and wrap it for just 5 minutes, because I need this to be ready as soon as possible. On a normal day, I will leave it for at least 45 to 1 hour or even longer, depending if I'm out in the markets where I go to do festivals or carnival, or if I'm well within time. I'm in preparing for the client's meal and so on and so forth. But this time around, I need it very urgently, so I'm just gonna leave it for 5 minutes and I'll come back to it again. So 5 minutes later, it's risen up to an extent. I've got my deep fryer out already. I prefer to use deep fryer when I'm frying puff puff and use fresh oil at every given time. I've also got my tray here, which I'll be pouring the puff puff into. Deep fryer just makes life a lot more easier. For me, I just prefer it. It makes my job more faster. Remember, we're a catering company here in Battersea, United Kingdom. We do catering for parties, for birthday. Make sure your hand hasn't got water before you start dumping the puff puff into the oil. Okay, and make sure your oil is at the right temperature as well. Set your temperature to 170 degrees centigrade. If you're not using a deep fryer, always then use a thermometer to check. Okay, I could have left it much longer, but because I'm in a little bit of a rush, I couldn't leave it much longer as I would love to have left it. But all the same, it's still gonna come out wonderfully. Very lovely. When you dump your hand with water to throw the puff puff in, make sure that your hands that you take off any excess water, because you don't want to burn yourself. Okay, and be very careful when you've got children around as well. Safety is very important. And another thing, don't overfill the oil. Once I feel it's enough, then I wouldn't add any more again, because if you add too much, what happens is that they're not going to cook evenly. So we'll just keep on frying this. Frying, make sure to give the deep fryer a wiggle. If you're not using the fryer, then use a spoon to sort of roll the puff puff, because you want it to cook evenly. The name our website is nigerinfusions.com. nigerinfusions.com. We are on Twitter, Awesome Dishes with extra X at the end, not XS at the end. Instagram, Awesome Dishes. Snapchat, Awesome Dishes. Facebook, Niger Infusions. You can always send us an email at info@nigerinfusions.com, or you can give us a ring. We've got all our contact details on our website, so feel free. Birthday parties, the graduation, weddings, we've got you covered. Weekly meal, you're too busy to cook, you haven't got enough time, children, husband, family life, don't worry, we will take care of you. Got quite a big batch to fry here, so I'll just keep getting on with it. Once this one fries, I'm going to show you guys what it looks like on the inside. If I've left it longer, it will be even more, it will be more perfect, but time is against me this morning, so, or today rather, so I'd rather just get on with it. The next I'm preparing this morning is suya, using Niger Infusion suya seasoning. You can purchase this from our website, nigerinfusions.com. We have you all covered. Jollof seasoning, pepper soup seasoning, and oh, this is hot. I need to get yeah, so we've got you covered for all your catering needs. That's our pop-up looking so golden. Living my life like it's golden. This is not done. I'm just gonna let the oil drain, then I start the next one again. The clock is ticking really fast. Let me just show you what it looks like on the inside. That is boiling hot. Ow, that's really hot. So that's puff puff on the inside. It looks so beautifully yummy. I love the density it's got inside. Very, very perfect. Let me get cracking. Slowly but surely, we're getting there. About four more sets, 4 to 5 sets, and we should be done. There's a whole tray, a large tray of puff puff. In between that, I've done moi moi. I've done quite a lot of things. Our empty bowl. Last set gone in. Once that is done, take out our puff puff. This is how I want the inside of my puff puff to be. Beautiful, beautiful, fluffy and airy. You can always use plain flour. It will work the same, but make sure you leave plain flour to rise for a very good amount of time. 45 minutes, 1 hour, even 1 hour 30 minutes, but don't leave it too long, up to like from morning till night, otherwise it will go sour. Here is our puff puff, all done in its own glory. Thank you so much for watching. Visit us at nigerianinfusions.com. Head on to our website, which is nigerianinfusions.com. Find us on Facebook, Nigeria Infusions, on Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, Awesome Dishes. On Twitter is Awesome Dishes with extra additional S. Thank you so much. Remember, we're a catering company based here in United Kingdom, but to see, drop us an email, info@nigerianinfusions.com. See you guys later. Thank you, and don't forget to subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend.